Hi everyone, this is Yoli from Cancer Kinship here. I'm here with my dear friend Carol Latham, and she is our fashion show coordinator, and Carol and I have been friends for a very long time. Carol has a company called Carol Latham Fashion Events Unlimited, and she has generously donated her time and expertise to make sure that this event is a success. So hi Carol, thank you so much for joining me today.
Hi Yoli, hi. This is very exciting. This is a first for me too, doing something like this virtually. So
this virtual fundraising event, fashion show.
I'm telling you.
We had to put on our thinking caps for this one.
Exactly. You have to be creative and think outside the box.
Yeah, well, I hope this event was as much as fun for you as it was for us as we were putting the plans together. So maybe you could share with the viewers from your perspective how you think everything went for the show, the planning and all the behind the scenes things that happened for our show.
Well, it's been a lot of fun. And I think the models who were part of the orientation and the workshops that you've had so far have been creative, you know, in terms of what their outfits are going to be and their walking and they've had fun with it, which has been the amazing part of it. You know, when I first started doing this event with St. Joseph's back 20 something years ago, I think 26 years ago, we never quite knew where it would lead. And I think the first time we did it, our attendance was like 250. And then we maxed out years later at 1,100.
Yes.
But the whole experience of it was just so humbling because we were able to celebrate the journeys that the models had been on. Some of them had gone through their treatment maybe a few years before, and they were survivors in the sense that they were not in treatment. But there were also some of the models who were in the middle of their crisis, in the middle of their journey, and many of them were scared. They were nervous. They didn't know what the heck they had gotten themselves into in being in a fashion show. And there were times when we had models who were so scared and frightened and withdrawn that they couldn't even in an orientation say their names.
Right.
And the beauty of the show was seeing them blossom, seeing them become confident on the runway and wanting to do it a second time, and coming back and sharing their wonderful experience with the newbies as we were moving from one year to the next. And of course, part of the experience of that was, was getting to know some of these models like yourself, like Alex and so many others over the years who were initially models, then became mentors, then became volunteers, and now part of Cancer Kinship.
Yeah, there's an incredible history. And just for those of you who are watching or listening, we're referencing St. Joseph's Hospital, or St. Joseph's Center for Cancer Prevention and Treatment in Orange used to host an event called Circles of Life Fashion Show that featured cancer survivor models. And the event that Carol just described really grew, and being that I was a patient of St. Joe's and many of my friends are also our patients or were patients of St. Joe's, we were able to participate in this amazing fashion experience that really brought the cancer survivor community together. And from that really was the seed that was planted in my heart to put together this event. Like, the legacy started there with St. Joe's, with a 20-year history of an amazing show that, Carol, you were there from the very first show, which is incredible. So for you to take part in our fashion show this year, really means a lot to me, and I'm so thankful. And your expertise, oh my gosh, like we couldn't have done it without you.
Well, you know, thank you for saying that. You know, I think the beauty of doing something like this fashion show or what we did with St. Joseph's is that so many of us in our life have been touched by cancer in some form or another, whether it's ourselves or someone that we care about. You know, someone in our families, you know, mothers, fathers, etc. And to be able to share the experience, even in this, what might seem superficial way, a fashion show, is so humbling, because there is nothing that we would do on the runway that could in any way compare with the trauma and the journey that these models have already experienced. And so, you know, being able to have them blossom walking a runway was just so rewarding, and hearing their stories and seeing their grit and their bravery and their resilience, and also their support of each other.
Yes.
Which is where, as you said, Cancer Kinship grew out of that, because there was such a need to be able to share and mentor and give back to others who were experiencing the same thing. And maybe some of them didn't have the same kind of support that you had when you were going through your experience. And so now you're able to have this format and this forum to empower.
Right. It's a way to kind of like pay it forward. I remember the St. Joe's event really brought, there's this core group that came together that, you know, here we are 10 years later and we're still super great friends. Yeah. Like they're my family. And so much that I roped in 3 of them to be in our fashion show this year. So, you know, they had a chance to walk the virtual runway this year. But that's the beautiful part about having an activity that is empowering, such as this event. And when I was brainstorming during the summer and trying to figure out, okay, what could be Cancer Kinship's virtual event, because that's the way we needed to format this event due to the pandemic. And so I really wanted to make sure that anything that we put together, any plans that we put together, really was mission aligned with Cancer Kinship and what we do, why we exist in the first place, and being able to engage the models in pre-fashion show activities that are truly empowering and build community. That was it. That was the mission work for us. And seeing the models hop on a model orientation via Zoom, share who they are, what their cancer journey's been like, what kind of cancer they have, and then start seeing people make connections, and then hopping on twice a week for 3 or 4 weeks. I don't even know how many.
Yeah, I think it was maybe about 4 weeks, fashion. Twice a week. Yes.
Yeah, how to walk with confidence, how to just show up and have this presence, and also have fun, because we need to have fun and just socialize with each other. That's a thing that's been missing during the pandemic, is the socialization. Yes. And so being able to bring all of those activities together and make it a mission aligned activity to empower cancer patients was very beautiful to witness. And so my hope is that comes out and shows up in the show, the final piece that we're going to showcase on October 24th. And I'm really excited, kind of nervous to see the final piece. We're still editing right now. And it did take, after everything's said and done, it's well over 100 pieces of individual video clips that our models filmed by themselves in their homes, or they recorded like video selfies and their introductions. There's just so much that went into putting this event together. So I'm excited to see the final piece. Really excited.
Yeah, so am I. And you know what was kind of fun about the virtual sessions that we had was seeing the models, even on camera, grow.
Yes.
And and be supportive of each other. You know, they helped each other when we were looking at the outfits and giving, you know, constructive and helpful and loving feedback to each other, talking about the various sites that they had gone to video and what worked and what didn't work, you know, the makeup tips that they were giving. And one of the fun sessions that we had was the accessories, putting the accessories together with the various outfits and trying to decide what worked and what didn't.
Everybody just hopped in and shared feedback.
Everybody participated. And, you know, sometimes when you're doing things virtually, there are one or two people that are a little bit more vocal, and then one or two that are very quiet and have nothing to say. That was not the case. No. Everybody had something to say and participated. And you mentioned something that I think is also pivotal, and that is they had fun doing it. They really had fun doing it.
And you can tell when you see the final footage, you can tell that they were having a blast and they were having it up on the videos. They engaged their families to help them record. It was just a fun way to engage not the models but the families too.
I know, and I think a lot of that levity came from you, because you know that was it starts at the top.
Oh, thank you.
It starts at the top, and I think a lot of that came from you. The models that you selected, or the models that said that they would do it because you asked. And again, it's those, you know, another one of those 3-letter words, you know, it's fun and ask. I think it shows. And I hope it really translates itself to the audience when they see the finished product.
Oh, well, thank you, Carol. And like I said, the first show that I was a part of as a model at St. Joseph's really did plant that seed, and it did such a wonderful thing for me personally. I was 2 years, it was like 1.5 years after my last treatment that I joined on stage with all the other models. And for me, it gave me an opportunity to celebrate life with my loved ones and have them see me in a healthier light, and also have fun. And so that, because I love that event so much, I volunteered as a model liaison and committee member for the event for 6 years, which is how you and I became super close. And you know, when that event went away and morphed into another beautiful event that St. Joe's hosts now in the summer, I knew that I wanted to continue the legacy. At that time, I didn't have cancer kinship, so I'm like, one way or another, we're bringing the show back, dang it. And then here we are in the middle of a pandemic hosting a virtual show. So hopefully someday we will have an in-person fashion event. But until then, this is the way we're going to celebrate with our community. So again, I'm so thankful, Carol. I appreciate you as a friend, obviously as an expert in the fashion scene. You provided such great tips of hair and makeup and walking with confidence, picking the right clothes, accessories. You're a complete package and a gem as a volunteer. And I thank you so much.
My pleasure.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Blessings.
We'll have fun on the 24th.
Yes. We'll see you then.
All right.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.